In a peaceful village at the foot of a mountain, there lived a wise old sage known for his deep understanding of life. People from far and wide would travel to seek his advice. His words were always thoughtful, his presence calm, and his answers filled with wisdom. One day, a young man from the village, known for being easily irritated and quick to argue, decided to visit the sage. He was constantly getting into pointless arguments with people over trivial matters, and his life was filled with frustration. He believed that by confronting others and always having the last word, he was showing strength and intelligence. However, these confrontations only left him drained and bitter. The young man approached the sage's hut and asked, "Master, I feel like I'm always right, but people keep arguing with me. I get angry, and it seems like no one listens. What should I do?" The sage, calm as ever, smiled and replied, "Come with me, and I will show you the answer." They walked together to the edge of the village, where an old, dead tree stood. The branches were brittle, and the leaves had long since fallen away. The sage stopped and pointed at the tree. "Tell me, what would you do if someone came here and started shouting at this tree, calling it names, and demanding it to bloom again?" The young man looked confused. "Nothing," he said. "That would be foolish. The tree is dead. Shouting at it or demanding anything from it won't change anything." The sage nodded. "Exactly. Talking to some people is like talking to that tree. They are not open to reason, and no matter how much you argue, you won't change their mind. When you argue with those who do not listen, it is as pointless as shouting at a dead tree. They will remain stubborn, and you will only waste your energy." The young man listened closely, but his pride still lingered. "But if I don't defend myself, they'll think I'm weak." The sage looked at him kindly and said, "Real strength lies in your ability to stay calm and walk away from a pointless argument. It is not weakness to avoid unnecessary conflict, it is wisdom. Engaging with those who argue for the sake of arguing or those who are not willing to listen only drags you down to their level. Instead, silence can speak louder than any argument. Calmness is your shield against such foolishness." The young man stood in silence, reflecting on the sage's words. He realized that his constant need to argue was not making him stronger or wiser, but rather exhausting him. From that moment, he decided to change his approach. In the days that followed, the young man found himself in situations where people tried to provoke him with arguments. But instead of reacting, he remembered the dead tree and the sage's words. He remained calm and chose not to engage. Slowly, he began to feel a sense of peace, realizing that not every battle was worth fighting, and not every person was worth arguing with. In time, people began to notice the change in him. They admired his calm demeanor and stopped provoking him because they no longer received a reaction. The young man had found his strength, not in arguments or loud words, but in his silence and self-control. Moral: remaining calm in the face of provocation is a sign of wisdom and inner strength. Engaging in pointless arguments with those who are not willing to listen only drains your energy. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words, and walking away is the best answer. This story highlights how staying calm and avoiding unproductive conversations with people who don't add value can help maintain your peace and strength.